beginning. We all come to a story with hopes and expectations, looking for an answer. Sometimes it would be better to live with that hope without ever knowing the full story.
شكله يعطونا لمحة عن الجزء الأول هيك شكله.
In a horror story, there are only victims and monsters. And the trick is not to end up as either. But trapped by the genre, we are all ripped to pieces along the way. This is not the story I hoped it would be. This is not the ending I wanted. This story will eat us alive. This story is a monster. And monsters wear many faces.
وهاي الشخصية مش معروفة مين. هاي الشخصية مش معروفة مين بس يعني.
Where'd he gone?
استنى لحد الآن لحظة صمت. أبغى خليه يركض. ولاد مين هذا؟ ضحوا فيه يعني. قرعني يا زلمه.
Hey, kiddo. How are you?
I'm good, Mom. How are you?
This trip might take a little longer than I thought. I'm sorry I've been gone so much lately, Logan.
Oh my god, Mom, it's not your fault people get all murdery. What happened?
Just work stuff.
Right. Well, Dad and I are just watching the latest episode of Night Springs here. Mom, it's so good.
No spoilers! I'll let you get back to the show. You were supposed to wait and watch with me. I love you both.
This is what happens when you go on work trips, Mom. Love you too. And say hi to Casey. Tell him to stop brooding so much.
Logan? I will. Bye, kiddo. Logan thinks you should try cheering up.
Snarky kid. Wonder where she gets that from.
عن طريق الواي فاي خلفته.
It can't be a coincidence that another body turns up just as we arrive in town. Feels like the killer's leaving us a message.
I'm glad you're on this case with me, Anderson. It's right up your alley. You should take lead. Think of me as the backup.
Okay. Any words of advice?
Nothing that would cheer anyone up. Here we are. Cauldron Lake.
Time to get to work. A deputy was supposed to be here to...
يلا خلص روح تعال بدل. انا شايفها بطيئة. يلا. بحيرة جولدرين.
I think I hear someone. Could be our deputy.
يلا روح امشي.
Over here.
فيش حد هان حبيبي الا انا وياك بس. اي والله فيه. حارس الغابة.
Hey Agent Casey, right? Sheriff Breaker said you'd be coming by to take over the case.
You're half right. Anderson?
Saga Anderson. I'll be leading this case. Seems you already know my partner, Alex Casey.
Shoot. Sorry about that, ma'am. I'm Deputy Mulligan. I just figured that, you know, that, Federal agents right here, Thornton. My partner, Thornton, down at the crime scene. He's not what you call the sharpest axe in the shed.
Right here? What do you mean? Are they with you? Oh, shit! They didn't hear me, did they?
Were there any witnesses?
Yeah, a couple out-of-towners. I wonder what they were doing sneaking around the woods at night.
Mention the city folk. It's pretty suspicious.
Not that we have anything against city folk, cried Thornton. But don't worry. Sheriff Breaker took them back to town a while ago.
I want to see the body. How do we get there?
Oh, sure, that's real simple. Just through the hole in the fence, down the hill towards the lake, around the old convenience store. You can't miss it. Everything's been closed since the area was fenced off. The store, the campground, all of it.
Mulligan, tell him I'm here waiting. I'll show him around.
They got it, Thornton.
Before we get to the crime scene, there's time to review the facts of the case so far. Make sure I'm seeing the clues clearly. The Mind Place. My version of the Mind Palace technique. To sift through clues and work the case.
اثنين من الضحايا كانوا متورمين. هل هو نوع من القيود في مربوطين أو محكمين بالأحداث؟ الضحية الأخيرة توفت بسبب إصابة خطيرة في الصدر. هل هو متوافق مع ضحية 2018؟ من الصعب التأكيد بسبب حالة الجسد. انتفاخ الجثة يشير إلى الغرق، لكن تم العثور على ضحية واحدة فقط في الماء. أوكي. قد يكون القاتل رياضيا أو صيادا. يعرف بصرف النظر عن اختفائهم في عام 2010 لا يوجد شيء ظاهر في جسم الضحايا. الضحية رقم 3 كان مغطى بالوشوم غير قابل للقراءة. رسالة من القاتل ربما أو فإنهم تم العثور عليه قبل أسبوعين. تم تسليمه الوفاة بواسطة جرح في الصدر. الوشم على جسم غير قابل للقراءة. هذا اللي كان أولية اللعبة اللي طلع من المي اللي كان ظل. تم العثور عليه في بحيرة القدر في 2018. بعض الأعضاء أعضاء اللي هو الجسم مفقودة. اكتراث حالة الجثة لا تتوافق مع قضاء 8 سنوات في البحيرة. تم الإبلاغ عن اختفاء الضحية في عام 2010. تم اكتشاف في عام 2012 مدفون في ببرية. هذا
I see you're already hard at work, Anderson. Close to cracking it?
We're just getting started. Let's head down the hill to the crime scene.
تركضش قدامي
Hey,
ولاك.
Casey, you putting me in charge. Why now?
Look, Anderson, you're a better detective than I am. You've cracked cases that had the rest of us baffled. I don't want to slow you down.
Are you thinking of retiring? You know what happens to cops who say this is their last case.
Mm-hmm. Real funny, Anderson.
Stairs are out. You okay to jump down?
I'm not that old. Fucking nature. Gives me a headache. There's too much sky.
Not a bad place to get murdered.
If getting back to
إذا هذا ماشي بالعرض أنت حبيبي. ألو سيجن اسمه
Damn.
ماشي
Should
بالعرض.
have brought an umbrella.
I like the rain. The only thing around here that feels
Like
like
a-
home.
You
سولاك.
think the local law had the sense to put up a tarp?
If they did, next coffee's on me.
Here together at the murder site. I did not want to swap. No, still not getting it. Try explaining your
Deputy Thornton, I take it.
That's me, at your service, ready to get this case solved. Now the body's behind the store. Come on, I'll show you.
كيف شكله؟
So, FBI, huh? That's so cool. Hunting down psycho serial killers and shootouts with the mob.
You forgot the UFO cover-ups.
What? Those are
امشي يا
real?
حبيبي، يلا امشي.
You guys hiring?
خذ معنا يلا.
Let's
أرويد.
just see this body, shall we?
Now this is the scene of the crime. We found him on the table. Now procedures and stuff.
Thanks, Deputy.
No tarp. You owe me a coffee.
Okay, let's start by examining our guest of honor.
بعدين القلب.
Does this fit the MO of the previous murders? Body is positioned on the table. Ritualistic. Another body turns up just as we arrive in town. Coincidence?
اكتشاف مسرح الجريمة. طب ما هو مسرح الجريمة. تم العثور على جثة أخرى في الغابة بالقرب من براي فيلد رايت فيلد. على توقيت مثالي يجب أن أرى إذا كان هذا المرتبط بالقتل الذي نحن هنا للتحقيق.
The killer left the heart right next to the body. Bruising on the wrist from the cargo straps holding him down. Inside stab wound. Chest cut open. Heart removed. Heart removed from chest, strapped by the wrists. Definitely matches the previous murders. But this time the heart and the straps were left behind. More clues to work with. This makes 4 murders that we know about. Who is our victim? Who killed him? Need to find more clues. Large amount of blood on the table. The victim died here.
لقد أحدثوا حقا فوضى هنا. هل تم القبض عليهم أثناء القيام بذلك أم العمل كان غير مجدي؟ هو تم القبض عليهم.
Did they plan for the murder to happen here?
طب شنو نعمل هسا؟
Someone left in a hurry. knocked the tripod over. Was it for a camera? Someone was drinking beer. They spent time. Any idea who the victim is?
Oh, I sure do. His name is Nightingale. He was FBI. He came to town about 13 years ago. I haven't heard a word about him since. Well, until now.
Nightingale? Robert Nightingale?
Oh, yes. You probably knew him. Brothers in arms. Oh, and sisters.
So you knew our victim?
Well, I didn't recognize him in his current state. But yeah, I ran into him a few times at Quantico. Never worked any cases together. After his partner
طلع لي
was
ولا
killed in the field, he went off the deep end. Got the boot pretty quick after that.
طلع بوجهي.
Nightingale went missing 13 years ago, 2010.
The same as all the other victims.
Certainly fits the pattern. Makes me wonder what was going on that year.
Probably something this town wants to forget.
So what happened to Nightingale after the Bureau let him go?
I only know the rumors. Depression led to booze, booze led to paranoia. He got some wild ideas in his head, chased ghosts until he fell off the map. Guess he ended up here,
I bet there's more to that story.
but no happy ending.
حالة الحليل ولكن نعم صدقت بعض المرات في كون دييكو.
Robert Nightingale, ex-FBI, came to Bright Falls 13 years ago.
طيب شو ضايل علينا؟
Oh, I sure do. His name is Nightingale. He was FBI. He came to town about 13 years ago. I haven't heard a word about him since. Well, until now.
أنا مش عارف إيش حامله المصباح أنت بدال.
Multiple people were here. Multiple killers? Boot prints indicating multiple killers. Quite the party.
يبدو جديدا أتى به القتلة. لماذا لتركيب كاميرا فيلم عارف غامض؟
Makes sense. They
Yep.
planned for the murder to happen here, passing the time with equipment ready. They were waiting for him. But why Nightingale? He's been missing for 13 years. Why here? Why now? Profiling. Get into the subject's head. See what they saw. Feel what they felt. Use whatever I know about them to guide my intuition to a revelation. piece it together. Nightingale was chosen as the victim. Why?
Flick the switch. It goes click. Lights are off. But somebody's home. Somebody's home.
This wasn't some random act of violence. This was a ritual.
عندها قدرة خارقة شكلها.
Nightingale a component. They didn't see him as a person. More like a container for something. Agent Nightingale has been MIA for 13 years. How did he end up here?
Up from the lake that's not a lake. It's dark. He was there too. You are not allowed in the lake until he says otherwise.
Robert Nightingale came from the lake before his murder.
صار أنه إن نايتنجيل قد جاء من البحيرة، لكن لماذا؟ لأن بعد 13 عام أين كان؟
Up from the lake that's not a lake.
The lake is connected to Nightingale somehow. Casey, let's take a look down by the lake.
وين
Lead
البحيرة؟
the way.
Sounds good. This way, right?
Right.
Well, okay. Well, I'll just wait here.
خبرة هذا الزلمة.
This one of your hunches, Anderson? Did something happen at the lake?
I think Nightingale came up from that direction. From the lake. Probably looking for shelter. Safety. They were waiting for him.
When you're ready, I'd love to hear what you put together so far.
Sure. It's not that complicated. Nightingale was out in the woods alone at night, possibly nude. The killers knew he was here, ambushed him, dragged him to the campgrounds, strapped him to the table, cut his heart out. But then they were interrupted by those witnesses, the Bookers. The job is unfinished.
That seems pretty complicated to me. What was this guy doing skinny dipping at this time of year?
Haven't figured that part out yet.
Mm-hmm. Lots of...
There's a piece of paper on the ground.
I didn't know trees got...
Tracks. Barefoot. Nightingales?
عندليب
A
الدقي.
page full of text on one side. Not a printout. Written with a typewriter. Old school. Lines scratched out and edits added with a pen.
Mm-hmm. Like a manuscript. Page of a story. The killer left a message.
It's for us. The text is about us. The victim was one of their own. FBI Special Agent Robert Nightingale. And then there was the page they found. The first step
Nightingale.
down into terrifying depths.
Reading
The
the
words.
words. These words felt like a message.
Felt like a message.
Someone knew they were here. Someone playing a game with them. An invitation. How could they not accept, even if they knew it would end up hurting them?
Someone's been watching us.
Playing a sick game with us.
You were right. This is right up my alley. Nightingale came this way.